Hello, Miss Rachel. Thank you so much for being patient with your reading, and please forgive me for sending your reading out very late. My personal life has been very crazy, which has allowed for me not to really focus on my business too much. But once again, I really appreciate you being patient. Now with this reading, you wanted me to look into you and your current boyfriend's relationship. You did not give his name, but that's alright. He has like Aries Pisces energy, but the first thing that popped into my head was Polo, so I'm gonna call him Polo. Hopefully that'll be alright. But with this reading, and wait, your other email said that you were with him again. Okay, yeah, I got that. But I'm going to pull individual cards for you and Mr. Polo. These cards will indicate how you guys are, just generally, or what you will bring into the relationship. I'm going to pull 3 cards indicating how he feels for you. I'm also going to pull the card for his intentions and will this relationship be successful. I'm also going to pull some cards from my romance with Angel deck. So let's see what's going on. Presentation for Mrs. Rachel. You're very independent and you are very bright and clever. I feel like you are just all about clarity. You don't really care too much for confusion. You're very straight to the point. You don't want to confuse anybody else because you just don't have time for that. And I feel like with this guy right here, he's just too confusing. It's like he's gray. Like, he's not black or white. You know, it's just like he's gray. Some days he may be black, some days he may be white, but it's just a lot of times he's just in the middle. And I feel like a part of you feels caught in the middle with him because he isn't giving you that gratification that you really need right now. I don't know why I'm picking up on a female with brown hair. You may be a brunette, but like brown, like lightly waved or curled textured hair. I don't know, but this female kind of reminds me of JoJo, the old singer that sung Get Out, Leave Right Now, There's No Chance for You and Me, like back in maybe 2000, like early 2000s. All right, let's see your presentation for Mr. Polo. First card. I feel like he's like there's a sense of surrender with him. I feel like a part of, oh yeah, by the way, the cards are flipped and I won't be able to see them until I unflip them. But there's a part of Mr. I'm getting all these things for him. Now I'm getting Rogers. I don't know why, but that may not even be his name. But there's a part of him that feels as if he's drowning. Like he has a lot of things going on within his life. Like I'm hearing a lot of obligations. I don't know if work life is busy for him or if he's thinking about going back to school. I'm also getting the vibe of him being afraid of getting in trouble with the law or messing up his record. I don't know if he wants to like purchase a home or like if he wants his credit to be really good or like his public record to be really good, but there's something about him being in fear of government, getting in trouble with government. That's what I'm picking up with him. I feel like he is very sensitive, but he hides it. Give me 3 cards. How does Mr. Polo feel for Mrs. Rachel? Give me 3 cards. All right. First card on the top. What is Mr. Polo's intentions for Mrs. Rachel? There's a song that started playing in my head as soon as I put down Mr. Polo's individual card. It's by Shawn Mendes. I think that's his last name. I don't know. But it's called Mercy. Okay, let me see. Will this relationship be successful for Mrs. Rachel and Mr. Polo? First card on the top. Alright, so here we go. There's a lot of lessons with this bond just off the gate. And I do feel like there is a lot of confusion where both of you feel as if you have your hands tied. It's like, in a way, both of you guys aren't really being honest, because I'm getting this sense of not being sure, kind of going with the flow, like wanting to trust the other person, but there's a sense of like, I'm not sure, I don't know, like I just want to, you know, continue this ride just to see where it goes, because I really like this person, but I just feel like there's this fear of opening up, or there's this fear of not really knowing where the hell this relationship is going, to be honest. But this is a representation of you. Interesting. We have the Emperor card. Nice. All right, with this energy right here, I feel, and this kind of makes sense with what I was picking up, like you're very independent. You like to keep things intact. You just don't like chaos. Like, you don't mind it, like when things happen, like you deal with them accordingly. But if you hear crying, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully it gets under control. But you just don't like things not going your way. You can be fairly selfish sometimes. And I feel like Mr. Polo finds you a bit selfish, where, you know, it's about your needs, or, you know, you're just paying more attention to you sometimes. And that may not be the case, but I'm getting that's kind of how he's seeing you. Okay. You're very headstrong, you're very determined, and I feel like you're very verbal when need be. I am getting this energy where you can be dominant within relationships, and men find that very intimidating. They don't feel like you want to be the man. They don't feel that way at all. But you can belittle them sometimes, and that's not your fault. You're just a very strong woman, and you aren't taking any crap. Like, that's just your energy. Don't ever change that. Just, you know, find a man who can match you or accept you. Like, that's really all you can do. I feel like you don't care too much for weakness within men. Like, you don't mind like helping them out. You know, if they are emotional, like, you don't mind that, but like, you're once again, you're just very strong, and you know what you want. You don't really want to deal with a lot of nonsense. I feel like there's a sense of you kind of tolerating Mr. Polo. It's like you love him, but at the same time you're just tolerating him, and I feel like subconsciously it's starting to get annoying. I am getting this energy that you're very like all about your work, or, you know, you want to have a good career in order for you to have a very good foundation for your family. You are all about foundation and starting things off really strong, and like, you really admire commitment, and you admire for men to be very polished. You don't really care too much for sloppy men, or, you know, men who are just like all over the place and don't have goals. Like, I feel like you've dealt with that before, possibly in the past, but it's just like you really prefer for men to be polished. You don't have time to change a man. Like you don't, like you just want a man to just really be about his ish for once. Like that's all you really want. I don't know if you are a daddy's girl or if you choose men who are like your father, but there's this sense of being ruled by father or being structured like father, or you know, wanting to have a good father figure, or like just you want somebody who can just be that strong man. Like whatever image you have of a man, like you want to attract that. And I feel like that may be why you're coming off very masculine, because you're, I don't want to say you're fiending for it, but you are very driven to find, you know, what you consider masculinity, if that makes sense. Now I don't think you're a tomboy or anything like that, but you know, I just feel like you just really want a man who can just be a man, like a traditional solid man. And it's like you're the female version of that. So yeah, but I mean there's nothing honestly wrong with that. But I will say this, you can be emotionless sometimes, or possibly not. There's a sense of you communicating funny. Rather you don't open up, you don't say what you mean, like you jumble things, or you know, you walk away, or you deal with this situation like a day or two later. But there's this energy of you sometimes appearing as a rock or like a wall, and you know, maybe at times other people really can't get to you, or you just block yourself off from like having emotions and getting hurt. But there's this sense of communication that you need to work on right now. All right, but this is a representation of Mr. Polo. Really interesting. So we have the Six of Pentacles. I feel like with Mr. Polo, there's this fear of debt with him. There's this fear of not having enough, not being enough. I feel like he is fairly social. He tends to focus on the wrong thing sometimes. Like the priorities are mixed up is what I'm picking up. Or he doesn't, you know, take responsibility for the things that he does or the things that he says. But there's this sense of him avoiding things. I do feel like he's working on something. Like he's working on an inner goal where he's trying to be more successful, or he's trying to work on his anger, he's trying to work on being a better man, or he's working on his finances, he's thinking about going back to school, you know, like whatever the case may be. I feel like he's more focused on like what can balance him out during this time. I do feel like he has some issues with for being faithful or not, to be honest. Excuse me, I got really thirsty. And I feel like he's trying to work on that, but he's just a charming man, and he loves flirtatious women sometimes, to be honest. I do see where he does, excuse me, he does have a problem with doing things on time. Maybe, you know, he doesn't pay his bills on time, or, you know, he does things when he wants, like on his own time. I feel like he's just stuck on his own time, doing things when he's ready, doing things when it feels right to him. But I feel like he's focusing on something that isn't important, like maybe going out with friends, or maybe like other females, or, you know, like partying, like whatever the case may be. But I just feel like there's this sense of ignoring responsibilities. Now with you, I feel like you're the one saying, well, he's selfish too. You know, he's selfish too. I feel like with this, it's funny because he sees you as selfish and you see him as selfish. And I feel like that's where you guys need to develop a common ground with this, to be honest. I do feel like you guys are fairly similar in a way, to be honest with you. But obviously there is a lot of differences that you guys have as well. But it's kind of like a match. Like you guys are very close to matching up with each other, but I feel like mentally it's a bit off. I feel like you act way older than he does. Okay, I feel like if, let me see something. I feel like if you would have met him 3 to 5 years from now, things would be different. I just feel like he needs to grow up, to be honest. There's a part of him that is afraid of giving a lot. Maybe in the past, you know, he has helped a lot of people or he was taken advantage of. But, you know, he can't take that out on you because you aren't everybody else. You aren't the people that hurt him in the past. So he has some insecurities that he needs to, like, really work on right now. Because I do see where, you know, there's both of you have a shield around you, and I don't know if it's because you and him had this on and off again relationship and trust is already out the window, to be honest. But I feel like both of y'all came, either you or him, one of y'all came into this relationship with baggage and trust issues, severe trust issues, territorial issues, and it's caused a strain, excuse me, maybe even drain on the other person. So, you know, just be mindful of if it's you or if it's him that came into the relationship with trust issues. But I feel like there's a sense of you just wanting more from Mr. Polo, but I feel like it's more on a like responsibility level, to be honest. Let's say, how does Mr. Polo, interesting, how does Mr. Polo feel for you? So you have the 3 of Cups, the Chariot, and the 4 of Cups. Alright, sorry about that, I had to stop the video. But with this, it's very interesting. I do feel like he likes you. He likes you a lot. But this is funny because I did say this in the beginning of the video. I talked about the black and white deal. Isn't that ironic? And look, there's gray in the middle. That's funny. He does like you, you know, but I feel like there's a sense of him being unsure of this. He wants to see, you know, where you guys are heading, but at the same time I do feel like there's this sense of him either he has a fear that you're talking to other guys or he's doing it himself. Okay, I do feel, whether you are aware of this or not, you know, there is a sense of him talking to other women or, you know, maybe flirting with other women. I don't know why this is coming off as the party card to me for some reason. I do see that he sees you as like marriage material, and he wouldn't mind sharing a child with you, because he knows, like, off the gate, he knows that you would take responsibility of the baby. But it's like you're everything that he wants to be. There's this old song, I think it's by Vertical Horizon, I may be wrong, but it's like, he's everything you want, he's everything you need, or she's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you, and I don't know why. I don't know why that song popped in my head. I really don't. I feel like in his eyes, he feels like he's doing all that he can, or I feel like what I am getting the energy that he feels like he's doing all that he can, but to you, it's not good enough, because you know that you deserve more, and you know your worth. But I feel like with Polo, to him, what he's doing is good enough to him. Like, that's, you know, he's really giving you his all, is what I'm picking up. But, you know, to you, it's like, hey, I don't, it's not good enough. You know, you aren't showing me stability. You're showing me this back and forth, not really being sure, saying you want to be with me, then not really improving. And I just see where you and him are very stuck. Okay. And a part of him, even though he really likes you, and, you know, he finds this, you are kind of like his security blanket. Once again, he knows that you're responsible. He knows that you are stable. So he likes that, because mentally he isn't stable himself, to be honest. I hate to say that. But I do see where there's this sense of him kind of being bored with the relationship. And, you know, that may be why he isn't taking it seriously, or, you know, there isn't that much excitement for him. So he's just like, I'm over it. But then, you know, he starts to think about, you know, damn, she's really stable. I really like her. You know, she's everything I kind of wanted in a woman. Yes, there can be improvements. I hear his soul singing, but, you know, I like her. But there is something about communication that is that you and him really need to work on, to be honest. And Lord, I just feel like this is going to be very rocky. I do, because there's this sense of kind of not wanting to change, not willing to budge. All right, so there may be some conflict with, you know, like having a civil conversation with him, to the point where, you know, no arguments are started. I just feel like you guys just really can't communicate, and there's this unwillingness to, like, really, you know, understand where you're coming from and understand where he's coming from to a degree. And that's why you both possibly see you guys as being selfish. But yeah, my thing right here is communication, and, you know, just being stubborn to change. That's really what I'm saying. But his intentions for you, hey, with this, do be careful. I feel like at first his intentions really wasn't that pure. Sorry, once again. There's this energy of maybe he was seeing you as a fuck buddy at first, or he wasn't taking this relationship seriously, and then, oh, I got feelings for her now. You know, that kind of deal. I feel like he really doesn't know what he wants to do with this as well, to be honest. I feel like he does want to start over, and he wants things to be different, but I feel like You know, you can say all day long, yes, I want this to change. I want this to be different. I'm willing to make it. I'm willing to make things change. But if actions aren't following through with words, then it's just BS. And I feel like that's just where he is right now. I feel like he may change for a little bit, but I feel like it isn't going to be like consistently like him changing. I just feel like it's okay. I'm trying. Okay, stop bringing up my wall again. I just feel like it's going to be like that. You kind of just came out of nowhere. I do feel like this relationship or friendship, however it started, was very unexpected, to be honest. This is going to be very tricky. It is, to be honest with you. But in regards to, is this going to be a successful relationship? I'm going to answer that question later. But first, I'm going to look into my romance with Angel deck to see what information these cards have to say. All right, give me insight upon Rachel and Mr. Polo. 3 cards and stuff. Yeah. So there is a lot of lessons, excuse me, bad grammar. There are a lot of lessons that you and Mr. Polo are facing right now. I was going to say this, but this was kind of funny because something was like, oh, I don't really want to talk about it too much. But with this card, I was going to say that you and him did have a past life together, but you guys constantly fought. There's this, I'm hearing several, like, not several, sibling rivalry. You guys possibly could have been brother and sister, sister, brother, whatever the case may be, in a past life. And you guys just really could not get along. I feel like things are interesting, but like when you guys fight, it's really, really harsh, to be honest. And I feel like you guys need to come to terms with, you know, listening to each other and, you know, stop speaking just to respond to what you or him said. Like, actually listen. I do feel where there is some issues with this bond. Be careful of you depending upon him or him depending upon you, or there's this issue of needing to depend upon something else, whether it's drinking, smoking, shopping, video games. Like, I feel like there is a sense of distracting, like you or him, it's distracting, like you're doing something to distract yourself from personal problems or relationship problems. Like, let's just say he plays the video game all the time and video games just make him happy. Just giving an example. I feel like there's a sense of, once again, something is being avoided. Okay. You did speak of you and him being on again, and ironically, to give this relationship a chance card popped out. And I feel like that's, you know, where you guys are. But at the same time, I do feel like, you know, there's a wedge on this relationship. And there's a lot of growing and learning from this, to be honest. Yeah, this seems, even though there's feelings there, this seems more of a lust. Cards are just popping out like crazy. This is more of a lust-felt relationship. Rather, it's on your end or on his end. 3 cards popping out. I do feel like in the beginning it was more physical, rather it was you or him. And I feel like just somebody wasn't taking it seriously at all. And there's a lot of red flags that has popped up, but they are being annoyed as well, to be honest. I do feel like you need to really come to terms with what it is you want to do with this bond, because I feel like if you were to say, you know what, I want to let this go, or I want to keep it, your divine God and angels will alter your life to fit what you want within this situation, to be honest. I feel like this is what I'm picking up with you. You're picturing the perfect love, or you're hoping that he could be the perfect love, but you're masking him to fit the image that you want, if that makes sense. It's kind of like you're painting him to be something that he's not. Okay? And you need to accept the fact that some people just aren't the one. I mean, I feel like you need to realize that. I feel like you know, but you just want to give this a chance because you believe in him, you have faith in him. I do see where you and him will be off again fairly soon, whether it's within 2 weeks or 2 months. All right, I do see a break within this relationship again. I am seeing that you or him need to be, you know, honest about what's going on with this situation, to be honest. I do see where an ex-lover is possibly coming back, whether it's for him or for you, or you just need to let this situation go. Like, for real. Yeah, you definitely need to love yourself first, and, oh Lord, and realize what's truly going on. Yeah, you definitely are painting him to be something that he's not. Yeah, once again, I do see you and him distancing yourselves from the relationship. You need to really understand your love life and see like what's going on. Are you truly happy? Do you really want to continue this? Do you really want to make this work? Because I'm seeing that it isn't for you. You're getting a lot of cards saying free yourself, let this go. You know, be realistic. Yeah, I do see new love coming in for you by October, November time. Either for you or for him, new love will come into the picture October, November time. Okay, just stay optimistic about, you know, your love life. Even if the new love doesn't work, just know that you will find the true love that you're looking for. But it's all about you improving, and it's all about you changing. Okay, continue to call upon someone beautiful, you know. And I want to say this to you, because I don't know why I'm getting this message. Understand, you know, that love is just an adjective. Love isn't meant to be the only thing that makes you happy. Understand that true happiness comes from yourself, and that love is, once again, it's just an adjective. It's something to, you know, experience, and if you really like it, and if it really, you know, fits your fancy, then, you know, just see where it goes and see, you know, how it fits into your life. And I don't mean to, you know, say love like that, but that's just how I see it, to be honest. And I was just getting the vibe to say that to you. In other words, just make yourself happy for the time being first, before someone new comes into your life. Because a lot of people, they just automatically think, oh my God, you know, love is supposed to make you happy, it is supposed to make you this, and it's supposed to make you that. And we have high expectations upon love, you know, when a particular person comes into our life, you know, to the point of when it doesn't work out, we get disappointed, we feel led on, we feel used, we feel abused. And that's because we put so many expectations upon that person. We expected for them to constantly make us happy, when in reality the person that was supposed to make us happy was ourselves. All right, so just be mindful about that. You will know what to do. And I feel like, you know, you need to focus on your career for right now, and just understand where your life is going. You know, people, they come into your life just like seasons. They come and they go. They come and they go. They give lessons and then they leave. Understand who's a lesson and who's worth keeping. All right. But to answer the question, will this relationship be successful or not? With the Knight of Swords, no. I feel like there's going to be a lot of backtracking with this. Rather, you feel like you're taking steps back, he feels like he's taking a step back. I just feel like you guys don't communicate. Okay, there's this sense of being defensive, jumping to conclusion, just hasty energy. And I feel like you guys rushed into this, like without thinking properly. Without thinking properly at all. I mean, this is your life. You can do what you want. But, you know, just understand how much value your life has. And, like, you don't want to look back on your life to say, damn, I married a fool. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Good luck with everything. Thank you for being patient once again, and I hope that I hear from you again soon. Take care. Bye.